Okay, so all right, we're still moving. Okay, good sign. Okay. We're back, but I don't know where anybody else is. Oh, Carol's back, Phyllis is back. See and hear you, okay, and moving. Okay, good. I have no idea. I have no idea why this happens to us. I mean, we went for months, after the big freezes before, no problem. And now suddenly, we froze last week. And then this week, frozen. I have no idea whether it's our system, whether it's our provider, whether it's YouTube. Don't know. But okay. So anyways, let's keep our fingers crossed. If it cuts out again and frozen, we'll just keep talking. This might become a podcast. Maybe that's what we should be doing, is podcast instead. Wow, that's lemony.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Tracy says she thinks it's the iPad. I don't know, Tracy. I mean, how do you tell? How do you know? Maybe there's too many things on my iPad. But I've got a lot of memory room, and I check it all the time to make sure, and I take things off on a regular basis too. And I've got lots and lots of gigs, so I don't know what it is. Catherine's back, Jody's back. Okay. Priest says, yeah, because it happened in Oz. But it happened in Oz, I think, because the connections over there are not the same as North America, and we had a relatively slow connection. So I think that's why it happened.
Our connection was fairly fast here, but...
Yeah, but we don't know why. But anyways...
Unless the microphone had something to do with it.
No, I doubt that. I don't know. But Catherine says, I'm on my iPad. It's very reliable. Don't have a computer. Yeah, I know. And I watch lots of things on my iPad.
Well, it's more the upload or whatever. But
yeah,
we had a problem with the freezing before, and we think it was something that Netflix or YouTube had done.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Ilona. Nice to see you.
I have to move. Just make sure I'm not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we just pretend we're moving. Okay.
Anyways, enough about your mother.
All these suggestions about my mother and that, and I thank you for them. They're all good. But it's just my mother. You'd have to know her to understand what I'm talking about. But anyways, thanks for your suggestions, and I'll probably end up getting her chocolate.
Well,
or candy or something. Oh well.
We were thinking about for her birthday getting the.
Yeah, that's a different occasion. For her birthday, which is in August, they do have a room there you can sort of book out, and you can bring in your own food and stuff like that. And we used to do that with Walter's mother in her nursing home. So come this summer, when it gets, tail end of July or that, I'll go in and I'll try and book the facility there, and we'll just bring in something like Swiss Chalet or something like that for her. Because at least if we bring it into that, there's staff there that can help. If my mother needs, to be in the bathroom or whatever, they're there, they can do all that. And, okay. I watch the dumpster divers, and their iPhone freezes when their iPhone gets overheated. That's interesting. It does happen to Ken's Creations too, when he does his thing from the car, and it's hot, and the same thing overheats. But I don't know what would be overheating this, unless it's the new microphone. But I don't think so, because we've had to do this with the old microphone too. So I don't know, unless it's something with microphones.
Maybe.
Because we could go through the iPod's microphone. It's just that or the iPad's microphone, but the sound is horrible when you do that. So I don't know. We'll just cross our fingers and hope that we keep going here. Okay. Anita says your drinks look really refreshing. I have laryngitis and lost my voice. Oh, that's too bad, Anita. That's why I can't hear you. Okay. No, not bad. Well, I hope you get better. Geez, poor Anita. You've had a rough few months, haven't you? You've had a really bad case of the shingles, and you're still getting over that, and now you got laryngitis. Geez, girl, you're not in a good shape here at all. I hope things get better for you. Anyways, what we're drinking, this is champagne with a little touch of limoncello. It's supposed to
I got
be
a
a
little
touch.
heavy.
Mine's more like limoncello with a touch of champagne.
I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, so
Thinking you're getting me drunk. Tracy says live filming overheats phones. Amazon sells air coolers for iPhones and iPads. You know, I'm just going to take a look at that because I've never heard of that. So
I'll have to look into that.
yeah, we'll check that one out. Air coolers on Amazon. We'll just see what those are all
I haven't
about.
looked up the freezing thing for a while, so I should start looking at it.
Yeah, look that up again and see. Okay, enough about my mother, enough about freezing. Moving on, what's coming up on my vlog? I've got the third and final part of the little photo folio scrapbook album that I've been making over the last couple of weeks. I'm finishing it up on this week's version. And there's some stuff to tell you about what I did this week. Oh, got the hiccups now. What I did this weekend, the crop I went to. I didn't take any video when I was at the crop. I thought about doing it, but I didn't know if some of the ladies I did not know, and I just didn't know if they'd be comfortable with me showing something on YouTube, so I didn't bother, and I was busy cropping anyways with that. But anyways, yeah, it was a nice time. I say that hesitantly, not because I had a bad time. I just wasn't into it. I haven't been to a crop in quite a few years now. I used to go to them all the time, and I had a group of ladies that I used to go with. 3 ladies, we were good friends. We used to get together at each other's house every now and then and crop too, and they were a lot of fun. And I used to have a really good time. And I used to have a really good time because in most cases I was the only man all the time, so I was a bit of a unique specimen to them, you know, there. Oh, girls, there's a man. Cover up, cover up. And this weekend was a small crop put on by my local scrapbooking store, Class Act. There was food. There was plenty of room. Everybody got their own table, 6-foot table. It was very social. We had great access to Wi-Fi and to electrical outlets, which was good. There was even enough room that she set up tables where we could eat on those tables to keep it away from our stuff. So it was good. She had some make and takes. She had a couple of little mini classes. She had some prizes, quick little games. And I won the grand prize. She had a raffle for a Spellbinder, I forget what they call that one. It's a die cutting machine. Now you're going to say, you need another die cutting machine? Yeah, I have 2 already, a Vagabond and a Big Shot. But here's something. First of all, I never win anything, okay? And I figured my odds. It was 1 ticket for $5 or 3 tickets for $10. I bought 3 tickets, and what she was doing, she was going to use the money. She donated the machine, and she was going to use the money to donate to the food bank, the local food bank, at Thanksgiving time. I don't know if she's going to have more raffles as the year goes on until then to make more money or what. So, you know, good cause. So I bought the $10 worth of tickets, 3 tickets. And I didn't figure I had any chance of winning. I mean, 1 guy, 28 women, okay? Lo and behold, I was making jokes. I'm going, pull me, when they're doing the names out in the whole bet. And then she pulls me. And she goes, oh, she says, the only man at the crop, wouldn't you know, who has everything already, he wins. I was a little offended by that, okay? I said, well, I don't have one of those. But it was sort of like, it was sort of implied, me as a little oversensitive, that maybe I should say, oh, I don't need that. Just pull a different name. I paid my money. I take my chances like everybody else on that. So no, it's mine. I've got it. Also, I do have an ulterior motive for keeping it, if it works. I think it'll cut fabric for appliques. And although I can do that on my Cricut machine, and I have done it on my Big Shot, because I experimented with it, my Big Shot's getting old. It doesn't have as much pressure as it used to. This is a newer machine. It should have good pressure. So I'm going to try it and see. Worst case scenario is I'm going to find, no, I really don't need this machine. I'll pack it all up. I'll take it back to the store and I'll say to her, I don't need it. It's just going to sit on my shelf. Why don't you have another raffle? give it as a prize. I'll be very careful taking it out of the box. I'll make sure everything's in pristine condition and everything when I go to try it. And, re-raffle it. Maybe. I made a joke, actually, to the ladies that are in my art journal group, and I says, hey, June's class is coming up. Maybe we'll have a raffle. But, I never win anything. So why should the onus be on me to return?
Well, not only that. I mean, in the past, we've had charitable. We've gotten 50-50 tickets to an event, and it's done for a charity. So you get like 50% of the money, and the other 50 goes into the pot for the charity, right? Well, we've sometimes given the money back because it's for a charity, right? And
they don't even thank you for that.
They don't even thank you for it, and then you feel like you didn't get anything, and you paid to take it.
And other people just take it and run.
Yeah.
So, we were burned on that on several occasions. And that thought went through my head today when I won this. So, now it's not an Excalibur. Who asked me that? Oh, Jody. Spellbinder Excalibur. I have one. I like it because it's great for larger projects. No, this is a smaller one. It's not a...
Is it Gemini or something? Or?
I'm not sure if they call it... See, I might be getting that mixed up with another brand that is called the Gemini.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I could run downstairs and get it. But, I'm just like my mother. That's effort. And if I go, why don't you do it? Because you won't talk. You'll just stare at everybody.
Yeah, well.
Okay, thank you. Google, get that. Okay. I'm just going to back up here to see what people are saying. Oh, Anita says, yes, I've never been this sick before. Going to have the doctor see if I'm low on something. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope you do, Anita, and I hope it's something that is very curable and you don't have to suffer any longer, because I know the pain of shingles. I had them many, many years ago, but I didn't have anywhere near as bad a case as you have had. And that pain lingers long after the rash and everything is gone. So I really feel for you, and I hope better days are ahead for that. And Jody says, yes, that was inappropriate. I would have felt the same. Yeah. Yeah, and Anita says, yeah, that was not the best way to handle announcing you won. Okay, Jody says, thanks, Walter. Wink. Okay, here it is. It's the Platinum. That's what it looks like. I haven't even opened it out of the box yet. So, yeah, very good, Vanna. Thank you. So, I have no... Well, first I thought it might have been an electric one, but it's not. It's got a crank. I see that, but that's okay. But, as I said, I will be very careful with it when I experiment with it so it doesn't get marked up. And if I really feel, no, this is redundant to everything else that I own, then I will just take it back to them and say, here.
It's heavy.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a quality machine. It's not a cheap machine. I think it's well over $100 for that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, people think you're a good Vanna. Don't take off your top. We don't need to see that. You probably have a bigger bust than her. So anyways, overall, the crop was okay. It was just me. I'm not into it like I used to be, as you know, because I'm now quilting. Have you been a quilting thing? Yeah. But I thought, it's been a long time since I've gone to one of these, and I was going to take my sewing machine. I thought about it and quilt. But then I thought, no, I am going to work on some of those iCraft kits that I've been showing on my vlogs. And I did make 2 albums, and actually, I have to say...
They're very nice.
Ooh, high praise. And I'm very proud of them. It was like the muse was with me on those. And I am going to show them to everybody on my vlog. I'm not going to show them today, because I really need to do a video with them so you can see them page by page. This is not easy to do here and get a good look at. So that'll be coming up, probably not tomorrow, it'll be the next Monday, as part of my series, because I'll be starting a new project on there as well. My aim is every one of my vlogs this year is going to work its way through these iCraft kits so you can see how they work, and maybe inspire people who do this kind of things with ideas and whatnot with it. And that keeps my foot in the door for doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I still do mixed media. I still do my class once a month and that kind of thing. But I'm all about the fabric now. So if I can figure out a way to combine the 2 worlds, and there might be a way to do that, I just haven't come up with it yet. So anyways, I won. Yay! For me.
Make a padded book cover.
I already did that.
Oh, no.
Twice. Made one for my little diary and one for my binder. The whole stuff, yeah. That's been done to that. But anyways, what's people saying? Sell it and get something you really enjoy. No quilt. I would feel guilty about doing that when I won it. And it was, yeah. Plus, the people who'd want to buy it, if they wanted to buy it, would expect to get it for next to nothing because of all the people that were at the crop. Now, a lot of those people didn't need that machine either because most of them are experienced scrapbookers and they probably have a die machine. But, whatever. Julie agrees to sell it. Jody says, I take my antique tiny featherweight to crops for tease to sew on paper. Yeah, with a sewing machine. I can do that too. In fact, the old brother machine I had, I would sew on paper as well for stuff like that too. And I did do a couple of sort of mixed, fabric and paper and that kind of stuff, collage like. Sell it and buy more fabric. Yeah, there's always that. You can't have too much fabric, apparently, as I'm finding out. But anyways, overall, it was a nice time. She's doing it again in October. She was asking me today if I was signing up for the one in October. We're not sure what's happening in the fall because we got asked at Ultimate Sewing. We had, at one point in time, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, way back before the sewing retreat we went to in March, we volunteered our services wherever they could be used to help, with the nitty-gritty of setting up a sewing retreat, whatever that would involve. And, well, nothing came of that. But when we were in the store the other day, and Shirley, the owner, approached us and said, do you still want to volunteer? What are you going to say to that? No, we've decided we're not doing that anymore. No. I said, yeah, sure. If there's something you want us to do, Yeah, what? She says, well, I'm thinking of having an embroidery machine embroidery retreat. And she said some ideas she had about it. And she says, so I might need some help with that. And we said, okay, well, when you get things figured out, just let us know what you want us to do and we'll be there to do it, whatever that is. I'm not sure if this will come to fruition. Right now, this is an idea out there in the cloud kind of a thing for her. And I have no idea what it would involve for us, what we would be doing. But we'll see. But the thing is, I don't know when that's going to be. I suspect it could be probably in the fall. Because where she's talking about having it, their summertime is, and from now until about the 1st of October, is their busy season at this particular resort. So after that, it'll be sort of off season, and that's when they'll rent out their places to groups like sewing retreats or scrapbooking, things like that. So it would be my luck that I would sign up for this crop, and that would be the weekend for the embroidery retreat. So right now, that's a ways away. I can wait for it. Also, to be honest, I don't know if I want to go to a crop again. But who knows? In a few months' time, I might get the urge. So, anyways, that's what's happening there. Rosie says, hi, Rosie. Donate to a children's shelter. That's an idea. Yeah. Or even to an elementary school. Or to a kids after school program or something like that. Or do we have a place here in our town called The Living Room, which is a community arts center. It runs strictly off of grants. It's free. They have a lot of people come in there that really are kind of down and out. They have people come in and teach classes there. They do it all for nothing. It's all volunteer work and stuff like that. And I know they're always looking for supplies and things. So that's a possibility as well. I hadn't thought of that until just now. So we'll see. Okay, so that was the crop. So, told you we had another new toy besides the microphone. Walter bought a new toy. What'd you buy, Walter?
I bought a 55-inch TV and a new receiver to go with it.
But what kind of TV is it, Walter?
It's an OLED.
What's an OLED, Walter?
Organic light emitting diodes.
Ooh, I didn't know that's
It's
what
also expensive.
It's an expensive TV. It's a bigger TV. We replaced the one we had. You can't see it, but it's just over here.
Now that we've said that, somebody that's watching this is probably going to run out and that knows where we live and
we don't give our
grab our
address.
place.
Well, I'm sure we're not the only people in the world that have an OLED TV.
Oh.
Anyways, what's the benefit of an OLED over what the LED
It
TV we
has
had?
a very great viewing, it has a very wide viewing angle, because in this room that we have it in, we have seating all over the place, and the old TV would wash out when I was sitting on the couch watching it, and it was at a fairly severe angle, whereas this one won't do that, because it's not like an LCD or an LED.
It's got a really good picture, and it's 4K. Not that there are many channels out there that broadcast
No.
with any in 4K.
In fact, I have a 4K Apple, and the receiver is 4K, but we don't really subscribe to any 4K
No.
stations. So
There are some channels you
And
can
I don't
watch on
foresee-
YouTube that are in 4K, but they're mostly demo, and then, they're showing mountain lions on the side of a snowy mountain kind of thing, and you can see like
the only thing one
Clear.
thing that always ticks me off of this technology is it's a nuisance to set up, right? Like you can't just turn it on and it's great, right? It took me
2 days.
2 days to figure out how I could get the color set up the way I wanted it on the TV. And then, because I'm kind of picky. And then,
Kind of.
and the receiver is a bit of a pain to set up as well. And then, and what always annoys me is on the outside of the box it says, "Do not take this item back to the store. You can call our helpline if you're having trouble setting it up."
And when you know how great helplines are, don't we? We've been through that.
So, and that's what is blatantly on the side of the receiver box is this thing that if you have difficulty set it. Now, mind you, the receiver wasn't that difficult to set up. It has nice little features like Alexa will talk to it, and you can get Alexa to turn the receiver on and off. So,
Except she's being a real bitch with some of this at times. We have found that I get tongue-tied with Alexa. So I want Alexa to play some music, a soundtrack, and I go, "Alexa, play the pet. Did you want to play the bebop rhythms from 1957?"
yeah, it's too slow at talking to her, and then
I get tongue-tied with Alexa. I don't know why. She makes me shy. I don't know. But he's got it all hooked up now into the new receiver, and we bought a second Echo as well. So we have 2 Echoes and Alexa. One Echo's downstairs, works off our sound system down there, fine. We bought a second Echo up here because this new receiver Walter bought supposedly works with that. Well, we've discovered that we can hook the Alexa wirelessly into the new receiver. We don't need the second Echo. So I'm going to use it somewhere else in the house. But Alexa's still being annoying with this. But it's really got a nice
so what's
picture.
annoying about Alexa, as you can say, Alexa, turn on. I don't have her on. Yeah, thank God.
No, you turned her off before this. But
Yeah.
by starting other people, you have
Yeah.
Alexa, and she heard
No,
this.
so I'd say Alexa, play Pet Shop Boys
Hi, Cindy.
on the family room, that's what I've called the receiver, on the family room, and it will power up the receiver and play what I've asked it to play on the receiver. But you did think that if you told it to say, "Alexa, turn off the family room," right, then you would think it would turn off the receiver, but
No.
it's a Denon receiver. So I have not been able to figure out how to get it to turn off, other than I'll say, "Alexa, turn off the family room," and she says, "I don't know what that is," right? Then I'll say, "Alexa, turn off the Denon," which is the name of the kind of receiver, and it says, "Alexa," it comes back and says, "Oh, did you mean the family room?" And then it turns it off, and you say yes, and it turns it off.
She is so blonde, like it's kind of frustrating at times with her. But let's see. Tracy says, "This is why I unplugged Alexa and put her in the attic. That and the fact that they record everything in your house."
Oh,
now,
I don't-
No, wait. I didn't believe that before, but have you looked on the app on your phone? If you look on the app and look at it, she keeps a list of everything we have said to her on the phone. We can go back to it. So, if that's on our phone, where else is it? So I'm not going to poo-pah that idea anymore. Not once I saw that. I didn't know that before, and I thought, oh yeah, really, it's conspiracy theory and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not going to say they're not. Stranger Things, you know? So I don't know. But when I see it on my phone, it does make me kind of wonder what's going on. But they can record me all they want because I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to their face. So whatever.
Well, besides that, if you're out and about, a lot of people don't realize it, but a lot of big cities are videotaping everything.
Yeah, cameras on every
Cameras
street
on
corner.
every street corner and everything
Yeah.
else. So there's no such thing as privacy.
No, anymore. No. So I'm not going to poo-pah that idea, Tracy. Joey says my Alexa's going nuts every time you say Alexa. Alexa, what's the weather in Colorado? Julie says I miss sewing and have now started making fabric album covers and a fabric spine. Yeah, that can be done. And Anita says, Stephen and Walter, you both have given me the bug to sew again. I've been slowly trying to get an area set up at home to sew in. I have been watching lots of YouTube videos on sewing clothing. I just put up a new video on the Idiot Quilter. Okay, let's be careful. But that's enough limoncello. Thank you. And I'm playing around with my sewing room. I'm trying to get the best video that I can in there, and I'm using different technology than I use when I make my vlogs and different technology from what I'm using right here now. So one of my videos, I think I was showing the mistakes in my latest quilt. Not a really great video, technically. The one I made after that, a little bit better, and I'm still working on that. And so this is what's happening with the television set we used to have in here that's been replaced by the OLED. It is now become one of my second monitor to my computer downstairs, and it's a lot bigger. And I had a second monitor for that, but it wasn't quite as big. It is now going to become my television set hooked into my computer so I can watch YouTube videos while I'm sewing. And it's going to go right across from my sewing machine, because where my computer is in my sewing room is sort of behind me, so I really can't see anything while I'm sewing. So that's the theory. We went out and got a bracket for it before we went live tonight for that. So yeah, our house is very high tech.
The new TV set I've got mounted on the wall too. So.
And the more tech you have, the more problems you have. Okay? Simple as that. But I'm not going to pull my mother. I'm going to keep up with this stuff. I'm going to learn it. I'm just not going to, although it's very easy for me to say, well, you set that up.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to set up the receiver in the TV.
If I had to learn it, I could, and I would. But you bought it. It's your toy. Mm-hmm. I don't want to screw around with it, because if I screw up something on it, I'm going to get told. I'm going to get told royally. So that's why you were a little sheepish about telling me that you were screwing around with my second monitor downstairs when I was at the crop, too.
Yeah, well, see, now he has the second monitor. It's a 40-inch TV. As a monitor on his laptop.
Walter has one
I've
too.
had one for years in my bedroom, and I've always loved having the big monitor in there.
It's not your bedroom; it's your office.
My office, yeah.
There's no bed in there.
No.
But jeez. Jody says she said, meaning Alexa, which city in Colorado? And then Priest says, mine used to suddenly play sports scores at 3 a.m. Others had Alexa laugh for no reason. I have heard of that. That has never happened to us.
No.
If anything, that would suggest she might have a brain. But our Alexa does not have a brain. She's pretty literal. She's not even good sometimes at that.
One thing I have a problem with on her is certain, I think we may have mentioned that, certain artists for music, she doesn't seem to understand. So, and the pronunciation doesn't seem to work properly on it.
Ilona said she had to put her Alexa on mute because it kept reacting to me every time I said it. All the way in the UK, naughty boy. Now I'm listening to the weather in Colorado. Yeah, the problems with modern technology. Okay, so we got those two new toys and playing around with all that stuff. Never a dull moment. Okay, so what's moving on here? Newsworthy. Well, funny, we're talking UK here, Colorado. That's all about travel. So I'm going to segue into what our premier idiot, the premier of our province, Dougie Ford, what he's up to now. Now what he's decided is there'll be no insurance covered by the Ontario government when you're traveling outside of our country. Now, that insurance wasn't particularly good to start with. I think the most you could get if you got into a hospital and say you went to the States and you broke your leg or something was $400 a day. So, and everybody knows how much it costs in medical
most
States.
People buy
additional
insurance when they travel, right? So, but the insurance company knows that you have this out of province coverage, right? So they base their rates, their premium rates, based on
Hi, Nairi.
what you would get from the government, right? So now what's going to happen is all the travel insurance will go up in price.
Yeah. And he's saying that the problem with that is there's high administration costs. Well, okay, I don't doubt there are high administration costs to maintain that. Then you don't just cut it off. You start to re-examine how the administration is working on this. Why are administration costs so high? Whose fault is that? Well, let me see. It's provided by the Ontario government. That would mean that's the Ontario government the administration belongs to. So the fault lies with our government, not with the people using the system. It lies with them. So what is it called? Cut off the hand to pay Peter? No, that's not it. That's a mixed metaphor. There's something about that. But you know what I mean? Like, he's an idiot. He's already threatening our health system in other ways as well. He's threatening our education system. Of course, every premier that we've ever had in Ontario, the two first things they always attack are education and health anyways, because those are the big, what they think are cash cows. You know, heaven forbid people might, need a better quality of life because they're sick, or, you might need to learn to read, because our premier never did learn how to read.
There's also cut funding to libraries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's cut fundings to libraries, right? Right now, we have a population that's not getting any better on the literacy scale, is actually taking a decrease in literacy. Part of that is caused because of our modern age of computers, voice recognition things and things that can read to you and all of that, and just downright the fact that...
No, if you cut funding to something...
Cut me off.
To libraries. Well, go ahead.
No, too late. I've lost my thought. Go on.
Usually there's a lot of people that are not too well off that end up using libraries.
Yeah. They go in to use the computer systems there. They go in there to read the magazines. They go in there to be in a nice warm place in the winter. And if they're not causing a fuss, fine. Don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, a library is supposed to be a welcoming environment for all people, regardless of race, class, sex, whatever in that. So he'll cut funding. So they always have a lot of extra programs in the libraries. They have literacy programs. They have kids programs. They have senior citizens programs. All kinds of things that these libraries do. You cut the funding for that, what's the point of having a library? We saw them we have a library very near to us, a branch of our main library, and they were out on Friday. Some of the library workers, I think, and possibly volunteers, and they were, protesting these cuts. But of course, the ironic part of this is that one, our premier is fighting our education system. He doesn't have one. I have not yet been able to find out what he has for an education that's above high school. I'm not even sure if he has a high school education. Okay? 2, he's cutting libraries, which are fundamental to literacy. The man can't read. No, he can't. You watch him trying to read something in front of the news or in the House of Parliament and the whole bit, and he stumbles over every other word. So he's borderline illiterate as well.
He also doesn't do news conferences with news people because he can't think on his feet.
He can't think on his feet. He can't articulate his ideas. And yet, we made him the supreme power of our province. Oh, tell me I haven't gone American. Like, really? Trump, too, right here in our own backyard. So it can happen to anybody, I guess. And we have all these stupid people that put him into power because he got up there and said, oh, well, we're not going to have any of that sex education in our schools. And I'm sorry, but there's one group in our society, nothing against them, but their religion, the Muslims, okay? They don't want it in
Well,
the
not just
schools.
them.
And the rightist Christians and all of that, they don't want that in the school. He made it sound like they were going to be taught in grade 2 what oral sex was. No, everything was age appropriate. They were going to talk about what
I
we've
think
been
they
through
did
this
body
before.
parts in grade 3 or
Yeah,
something.
well, they have them. They need to know what they're called because it's
Other than the slang terms for it, because
yeah, my
I
Yahoo,
know-
my wig-wang.
I knew a kid when I grew up, believe it or not, he was in grade 10, and he didn't know the proper name for the male or the female body part at that point in time.
Yeah. Chuck says, oh, hi, Chuck. Hello to Trump world. Yep. And then he says, oh, dear, sounds like the same issues we have here in the USA. Sounds like him and Trump are having convos?
Conversation.
Oh, conversations. Okay. Geez, Anita. And I'm not even going to make any
It's
jokes about
probably
that.
one of those, it's probably automatic, what do you call it?
Oh, yeah,
Type
probably.
correct.
Anyways, we got it. Phyllis says, keep the public dumbed down any way they can. Yep. And Phil says, we are both mirror images of each other. Whores, hope it doesn't last long. Yeah, we are.
Well, it's another 4 years, so it's about 4 years, 3.5 years.
I mean, what? Is he I wouldn't be surprised the next thing he wants to do is build an ice wall to keep the Inuit out.
Oh yeah, he's got all kinds of programs.
Oh, he's done that too. He's attacked the native people.
native
The indigenous people.
indigenous people.
Just like Trump and the Mexicans. Wow. Parallel city here. Good God. I mean, and the thing is, at least Americans have a chance in what? In less than a year and a half's time or that, they could vote Trump out. We can't get rid of this idiot for 3 more years. So, and he can do a lot of damage in 3 years. He's done a lot of damage in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just crazy how this is ran. And what kills me are the people who voted for him. Who's the stupid one, really? I mean, yeah, Ford is stupid. But who's stupider than Ford? Who's dumber than dumb? The people who voted him in.
Well, it's like
Because they knew when they saw him. There was no hidden agenda here that he was going, we knew what he was going to do.
Yeah, even in his campaign, he said that they were supposed to be on the books in January. There was supposed to be $1 wage increase for minimum wage, and he even said in his campaign that he wasn't going to put that through, and people still voted for him that needed that wage increase, right? And they interviewed somebody like that, and they said, well, I voted because he was about the sex education thing, but I didn't vote for him not to put the increase in for the thing. Well, it's sort of like
It's part
one
and parcel.
whole package, right?
It's a whole package deal here. You just can't vote for one thing and not for the other because it all comes together. And that's just stupid feelings. These people are not thinking straight. I just want to wring their necks. I really do. Because we're all suffering now because of it. Of course, part of the problem too was we have 3 parties. NDP are severely left. We have conservatives. They are severely right. And in the middle, we have the liberals. And the liberals are kind of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And we lost the Liberal Party. They do not have official party status because the idiot premier of the time, who was a liberal, she turned around and sold her party down the tubes during the election because she simply did not want to be in politics anymore. Then why didn't she spend some time and retire from it months before the election so they could put in a new leader of the party? She decimated the party because she basically gave up, and it was obvious. She basically threw her hands in the air and went, well, we're never going to win anyway, so what the hell? Right. And the problem with the NDP is they're really good complainers, but they've always been, except for one time in my lifetime, and I think in all of history, actually, in our province, where they actually came into power and then they screwed us all over. They're severe tree huggers.
And they're very, we tend to be socialistic to begin with. They're very socialistic.
They're very, very socialistic.
So, next thing you know, they're giving free daycare for everybody in the province type of thing at a huge expenditure or whatever.
Yeah. So basically, you either had to vote for, if you didn't want to lose your vote by voting for the Liberals because you knew they didn't have a chance to get in, You either had to vote for the NDP, far left, or vote for the Conservatives, far right. Well, I still voted Liberal with hope.
Yeah.
I won't vote Conservative. I have voted for NDP in the past, and that was a mistake. The time they got in, didn't figure they would. I thought it was a protest vote, and well, that's a story for another time. So we are basically screwed. There's protests every week.
Yeah, what else
against
he's
them.
done is cut all kinds of daycare programs.
Oh yeah, he's cut the daycare programs now, and those parents are now up in arms. He cut the autism program; those parents are in arms. He's cut the education down, or trying to. He's going to have a fight in September because the teachers' contracts are done at the end of August this year, so they're renegotiating, and he's going to have a fight because our teachers' unions are very, very strong and have a history.
Well, and Nico
of
comes
being
up
strong.
and says, well, I don't want you to strike because
Yeah.
you have it too good as it is, and that you're just going to be hurting the kids.
Yeah. He's all in a uproar because apparently there's a protest outside of Queen's Park. Queen's Park's our government building in the city of Toronto where our provincial government sits, the parliament. And somebody had made a fake guillotine and cut off Ford's head in effigy. And he was going on the legislation, going on, this is inappropriate and all this kind of stuff. Well, actually, I kind of do agree with him that's taking things a little far. But what they were basically doing was showing how PO'd they were with them. And
Or
it was
how
a
deep
pun
his
on
cuts are.
how deep his cuts are. There was a pun. You see, he didn't get the pun. He didn't get the upper level of sarcasm that was in that, because that's what I mean. He's illiterate, so he doesn't understand. He can't even spell sarcasm. So, yeah. But now, then he's in a big uproar over that. And then he's trying to blame members of the NDP party for supporting that because they were out there when the protest was going on. Like, he'll pick at any little tiny scandal. Again, not unlike Trump. Okay? So there we are, people. North America's going down the tubes. Maybe we should just all move to Australia. I'm just saying. Whatever. So what are people saying? Phyllis says, like Trump treating our Native Americans like crap over putting in an oil pipeline and polluting the water on the reservation, but they fought and won. Chuck says about Wynne, maybe she had dark money inflow. Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that she was comfortable. There's no two ways about all those politicians are.
Yeah, the way it works here is that if they're in for like 2 terms or something like that, or in politics, that they get a really nice cushy pension plan.
Very cushy. I think it's like something like a 60, 70,000 or something. Yeah. It might be more than that now.
No, I think it's a lot more than that. They have a
Is it
really
100,000?
cushy and a huge benefits package and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that goes with them when they get out of
That's
politics.
why a lot of them want to get into politics, because they get really great benefits for just being in power for a couple of terms. I mean, the normal person has to work half a life, 3/4 of a lifetime to get that.
Chuck says New Zealand may be better. And Anita says, not to change the subject, but have you had your long arm sewing class? No, that comes up on June the 8th. You'll all be the first to know. Yeah, you can long arm. Yeah, which one? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But you know what's going to happen? After we take the class, I'm going to want even more to have a long arm.
No.
Oh, you say no now. But he's going to the class too. The bug may bite him. We'll see. We'll see.
Don't have enough money for that.
Never say never. Oh, there's always money. We'll get jobs as politicians and then quit and have a huge pension and use it to buy long arm. Yeah, it's easy. No problem. Tracy, she's a flaming liberal. Okay. I didn't know you could light them up. Our past premier was a flaming liberal too. She was a dyke. She was a lesbian. So, I'm not going to go anywhere more with that.
I mean,
I could, but I'm not going to. You mean what?
nothing.
No, no.
I mean, some people might be voting against her because of that too. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure there was a segment that did vote against her for that, but I'm not going to say any more about that because I have certain opinions about that, and I may ruffle a lot of feathers that don't need to be ruffled today at this point. Yeah, Phyllis says it's the same there with benefits and retirement, and most of the old timers are millionaires. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you got to have a little money behind you to get into politics in this country at the provincial or at the federal level. I mean, It's not poor Joe down the street who's got a cause and going, damn it, I want garbage collection twice a week. I'm going to run for party. I'm going to run. Because you have to have money to even qualify to run. And I don't know why this figure's in my head, but I think it's $50,000 to start with. That's why they have fundraisers. I mean, if you want to start at the bottom and run for local city councillor, you can do that. But even that takes money.
Because you have to get signs and advertising
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And if you've got a full-time job, and unless you're a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief, you're not going to be able to afford to take time away from that to go to all the meetings and all the things you have to do. So really, right there in our political system, it is a political system that is set up for only the rich to get in. So anybody else that doesn't have, who just works a 9-to-5 job, who's just barely making ends meet, is not going to be getting into politics anytime soon with that kind of thing. So there you go. It's already built into our system that we have corruption right there. God, I
Well,
sound
not
like a
only that
conspiracist.
happens is, I guess, the Ford government is giving all their friends nice little jobs, and that's what
yeah.
happens in all politics.
Oh yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter whether it's the Conservative Party
Or the Liberals or the NDP. It doesn't matter who it is.
Or I'm sure it happens in the United States. Friends of the politicians get nice cushy jobs.
You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Years ago, I worked for the government, and we had these meetings at a government branch in Toronto, and one of the former MPs, politicians or whatever, that was removed from the cabinet or whatever, had a nice cushy job in this ministry, right? Pushing papers around or whatever, and we ended up in this meeting, and we had lunch catered that day, which is unusual for the government, and so he decided, free lunch. He came into our meeting and decided to sponge off us for lunch. Then he proceeded to talk about his multi-million-dollar house that he lives in.
Well, that's why he could, because he got free lunches all the time,
Yeah.
so he could put that money towards his mortgage. Yeah, who's the stupid one there? But anyways, that's the state of the union at the point here in Ontario. Ontario. Oh yeah, and the government, the Saskatchewan government, we have something called, we're supposed to have a carbon, what do they call it?
Carbon tax.
A carbon tax in the provinces. It's part of the green, ecological, climate warming whole thing, right? But a couple of the provinces, including ours, have opted out of that. To do it. So the federal government is imposing what they call a carbon tax on each of those provinces, which basically is reflected in the cost of gasoline and some other natural resources or things that we need, kind of a deal. What it amounts to for the average Canadian is not a lot more money. In fact, you probably don't even really notice it in the way that gas prices and things go up and down. But our government, our federal government, Canada, made a commitment, the one that Trump pulled the states out of at Paris, on the global climate issue.
Yeah.
And so this is part of this. Well, our premier decided, no, the federal government can't do that. We're not going to do that because it's bad for business. It's penalizing businesses and all this kind of stuff. And so he got rid of it. Well, the federal government said, if you don't have this in place by such and such a date, we'll impose one. So province next door to us, Saskatchewan, did the same thing. Of course, their premier's a conservative as well.
I think it's Alberta, but anyway.
Is it Alberta? Oh, it was Alberta. That's right. It's Alberta. No, it's Saskatchewan that took it to court, though.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Well, anyway. So they took it to court, saying it was unconstitutional, according to our Canadian Constitution. And they lost. The Supreme Court, or the Court of Appeals, actually, turned around and said, no, it's not unconstitutional. So now we're waiting to hear how our premier is going to react to that, because they had the same case in the Court of Appeals.
It won't react well.
He won't react to it, but unless he has a little temper tantrum over the whole thing.
Which he tends to do, yeah.
So it's Trumpisms everywhere. Trumptonian. Oh, new word for the dictionary. Trumptonian. Okay. Fordtonian. I don't know. Doesn't have the nicest ring. Phyllis says the feds here want to raise the gas tax 35 cents per gallon. The state wants an additional 45 to fix the roads. Holy crap. Your gas is still cheaper than ours.
Yeah, our gas is cheaper than ours.
But you put those on there. Your
gas will be the
even
same
more.
as ours.
Because, I mean, your gas is expensive to start with, too. So is
Yeah,
ours,
well, we have a lot of road tax in our gas, too.
Yeah,
Supposedly
we have killer
fix the
potholes.
roads. But our roads are always crappy anyway. So.
Yeah. Go figure. Well, anyways, that's politics. Let's get off that. What are we watching? Nothing on TV. So
we're still watching. We finished the OA, right?
we finished the OA.
It was kind of weird.
It was weird. I don't. Are they gonna have a third season?
I don't know.
I think Dave
The
told
way
me the
they-
other night they're not.
The way they've ended it, it lends itself not to have another season.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me because Britt Marling that put together the show and stuff like that, she spent it took them like 3 years to get the second season in.
Yeah.
So people kind of forgot what was going on.
We
So
saw.
personally, I don't care if they have another season.
No.
or not. It's
I'm kind of done with it
yeah.
because I don't know where they were going to go with it after that.
No.
I mean, the whole thing was strange. It was entertaining, but it was strange. So I don't know. Movie. We saw this movie called Inheritance. Bizarre little movie.
So a type of a horror movie. It's
Yeah,
kinda,
sort of a horror movie.
It's a little gross.
It's kind of gross. Yeah, there's some kind of scenes in it, but it's actually not bad. It's just weird. And how to describe it? Sort of involves culty, spiritualistic, kind of crazy people killing other crazy people, running around naked. No pigs were slaughtered in it, so that was good. It's just weird. So it was on. Was that Prime or Netflix?
That was Netflix.
Yeah, so Netflix. On YouTube, nothing really new there that I've come across. I'm still reading the same book I've been reading for a month
Still
and a half.
watching that guy with the Potter House or whatever.
Oh yeah, still watching that series. If you haven't checked it, we've talked about this several times over the weeks. Just fascinated. Except, okay, Jody will get upset with me on this. You still there, Jody? Because it was Jody who put me onto this guy in the first place, and he is. It's a remarkable series that he's done. You know, fixing up this old house and the things he's found. He just made $62,000 selling the pottery that was in the house, that the woman who owned the house, who just recently passed away, she was 103, was a potter. She had won awards. She'd been featured in certain museums in our country. Little known name though, like not completely world famous, but he's doing his part to get, you know, her old house that he bought declared a historical site, and he has sold some of the pottery he found in the house because it belonged to him now. He paid for it all at auction, and he's giving half of the proceeds from the auction to her family, to her children. And her children are not little kids, okay? Her children are older than us, kind of a thing. Which is really nice of him to do because he's not under any obligation to do it because legally he owned all of that stuff. But that's what he's doing. But here's something, and this is where Jody might get upset with me. And I don't know if you people know about this. You can set up a live broadcast like we're doing right now where they have something called Super Chat. I have never done it. Super Chat means that, you know, if it scrolls on the side of your screen, if you're watching it on a regular computer, you can give money. So you could give me $10. Suddenly, you go to the top of the screen. It's called a Super Chat.
Oops.
You're cut off.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyway, go ahead.
Children. Really. Kill them. Oh, I'll get in trouble for that. I didn't mean it. I was only pretending I don't believe in killing children. Okay, fine. We're over that. So you can get this Super Chat, and people just give you money. $10, $20, things like that. Now, Melanie Lane, if you know who she is, she's an expert at this. She does sort of a tutorial series on the cricket every Saturday morning, and I've watched it before, and the money just rolls in. $5, $10, $20 that people are giving her. Why are they giving her that money? It's a tip. It is essentially a tip. She comes after a 1 hour broadcast off there, and I've seen her make as much as $200 to $300 in an hour for this kind of stuff. Well, he's got Super Chat turned on, and people are giving him money. He's not giving anything back to them. He's not asking for it. Okay, he's not saying there, please give me money. He is not doing that at all. So don't get me wrong about this. But he has turned on Super Chat. And he's getting money. Now, yeah, what he's doing is costing money to do. And he wants to buy an old general store to put his own store in and do stuff like that. This money is not going to charity. He's not asking for it. It's just happening because he's turned on Super Chat. So people, how would you feel if I turned on Super Chat? Yeah, I know how
I have like 28 people.
you'll be sending me stuff saying you owe me $20 for that amount of time you wasted in my life that I'll never get back. Okay, I'm just saying, nothing against him. I love him. I think he's great.
I think he's a very good businessman.
I think he's an excellent businessman. I think he's a fair businessman. I think he's a clever businessman, and I think, I don't think he would ever screw anybody around. But I'm just saying what I observed. That's all. I don't know where I want to go with that. Tracy says Super Chats are for people with thousands of millions of chatters so YouTubers can see your chat comments. Joy says, I feel the same way, Stephen. It bothered me. Yeah, that's basically it, Jody. It bothered me a little bit. Okay? Again, I'm not going to say anything against him more than what I've just said with that. Because I think he's like if I got a chance to meet him in person, and you did, didn't you, Jody? And you said he's exactly in real life what he's like on YouTube. So, and I believe that. Yeah, well, I guess I can't go Super Chat, Tracy, because we don't have thousands of millions of chatters here. Yeah, hi, 3. How are you? We appreciate you. We love you a lot. We'll open Super Chat. Would you mind giving us each 1,000? Okay. No, don't do it for the money, and you know that. Okay, so what's coming up? Or what's cooking? What are we having for din-dins tonight, Walter? He was on his own for dinner Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, so instead of cooking something for myself, I went out and got takeout.
And what did you have?
I had really, really low-cal stuff, too.
Oh, yeah, what was it? Was it a carrot stick?
No, I had fish and chips on Friday night.
Oh, was it halibut?
It was halibut.
Very good. So I kind of fish and chips all these.
And I went to a store that's like halfway across town because they also sell Dutch croquettes. And I didn't know this, but on Friday nights they had a special on Dutch croquettes. So
what? For what?
I bought 6 in a package and ate one.
Oh, so for tonight for dinner we're going to have croquettes and fries, really low fat, really healthy for you.
But we have 5 croquettes.
Oh, so we're going to each get 2.5 croquettes because you ate one. Were they still as good as they used to be?
Yeah, actually, these.
So they're not wallpaper paste.
No, they're actually got meat in them.
Well, surprise, surprise.
They're beef croquettes.
Beef croquettes. Oh yeah, because you can get ones that are chicken.
Chicken as well.
Yeah, it's a Dutch thing, really. They're basically meat in a tube that are deep fried. Well, these ones you just bake. You just heat them up, kind of thing.
It's like a beef ragu that's been breaded, and then you deep fry it, and it's like
Yeah. Just back to Curiosity Inc. Alex. Jody says, I think he made the mistake talking about getting a general store before the auction happened. I think people would think, maybe he's not as bad off as he portrays. I thought exactly the same thing, Jody. I thought that was a mistake. You should have kept your plans for that after all this stuff with the Potter House was over with. Because
I got a pretty good deal on the Potter House.
He paid. Well, this is the other thing. He's being very honest. He paid $20,000 for that house and its contents. He has put into it $150,000. He is listing it for $299,000. So
plus he's made a lot of money from the
sales
contents.
Yeah,
he also found about $2,500 cash
in the house too. And the stuff he has sold and the other things that he's done in there too. Yes, it costs him, he's saying it's about $150 to renovate it, clean it up, do all the stuff that people he hired, put in new windows and things like that. Yeah. But if he gets $300,000 for it, and I don't see any reason why he won't, because I thought he would list it for higher than that. But I guess...
Well, it's also a small town outside.
Well, yeah, it's like, and who wants to live there? But anyways, it's cold. He's very clever with that. So yeah, but he's making money from the auctions, and then he gets Super Chat. Plus, he's making money. he's what do you call it? Monetized. So since he started the Potters thing, his subscribers and his viewers have gone way up, like well over 100,000 per video. You know how much revenue that is on the ads? I mean, it's not millions of dollars, but it's a hell of a lot more. It takes me 4 months to make $100. Okay? So
And we're getting, what, 160 views a video or something like
on
that?
average in a week, between my vlog and Stephen and Walter Live, we probably get about 200, 250 views. Okay? He's getting over 100K per view. That means his revenue is up on that. So, like I said, I'm not holding that against him. Clever. He's making money. Is he fabulously rich? I do not think so. He's doing something he loves. And he wants this general store. This has been a dream. And he wants to restore it so it looks like from the time period and put his stuff in there and the whole bit. And because he's run the YouTube channels, he's gotten people who've seen the items out of the Potter House. And they have actually contacted him and have bought. And plus, they know about the auction. So they've gone on. I went onto the auction site. I registered on the auction site to look at it.
Got more money because he said he was donating half the money to
Yes.
to the family.
So he's really clever, but I think he is genuinely being genuine. So I can't hold this stuff against him and think he's just being, you know, a money hog or something like that. He's being a clever business person. Okay, more power to him for that. But when I saw that one just rubbed me really the wrong way about the super chats. Because in my way of thinking, the super chats, anybody who puts a super chat on their channel, that's a money grab. Because you get nothing for it. If you have a Patreon, you're supposed to give something back. On the super chats, you don't give anything back.
Well, the only thing you're getting is you're getting maybe the person that's doing the live broadcast is reading your comments.
Yeah, but we're reading everybody's comment here. No one's
No,
paying
I
me
know,
to read
but
them.
if you have 1,000 people on there, you can't read everybody's comment.
Yeah, but you know, they're not even putting in a comment. They just hit a button and goes $20. It pops up at the top of the screen and it say, you know, S Bland, $20. And they go, thank you. You know, and move on.
Well, it doesn't mean that your comments go to the top.
Yes, it does. But these people are not making, what I'm saying is they're not even, at least on Melanie Lane, they're not even making a comment.
Oh,
Or they'll make a comment like, thank you, Melody, $20. It's a tip. It's a tip. Now, I know that Americans have a different culture when it comes to tipping and stuff like that than we do as Canadians, but nevertheless, it's the same.
that's what the old joke is. What's the difference between a canoe and a Canadian? Canoe tips.
The canoe tips, yeah. Well, whatever. And Phyllis says, Phyllis says he's on, or no, Tracy says he's on YouTube to make money. He's working it. Yeah, he is working it a little bit. But again, I'm not going to hold that against him. Phyllis says he's a smart man who knows how to market himself. Yeah, he's no fool. Exactly. Maybe that's why it rubs me slightly the wrong way, because I'm not as intelligent as that to do that kind of thing. Jody says he says half the money, which in reality is fourth of the money because the auction takes half. Yeah, so $62,000 he got on that auction. But yeah, the auction takes half. That's $31,000. If he takes half of that to give to the family, that's $15,500. He's making $15,500. However, he only paid $20,000 for the house and its contents, so it's not a bad return on his money, on his investment, and he's clever about that. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't find fault with that. And Ilona says, I think YouTube takes a percentage. Yes, it does. It takes a percentage of the money because the administration costs or whatever for that. Yeah, it was YouTube who created it. So, yeah, it's something for YouTube, too. They're not doing that for nothing. But anyways, I give these people on YouTube who are able to do this, I give them credit for cleverness. I can't do it. I can't do it because I can't spend the time to do it, because I would feel that when your videos have to be of quality, high quality. My videos, you get what you see. I don't do editing, okay? Obviously. 2, I don't like to take something from somebody unless I'm giving them something in equal value in return, so I don't do Patreon or these super chats. because I would feel obligated to give them people something back for that. I don't have time to do that. I've talked about that before, why I've never gone to Patreon. Also, I don't have enough people to do it, so the point's probably moved. But whatever. So, yeah, whatever. This is a hobby. I was just talking to somebody at the crop on the weekend about doing this, and they asked me why I do them. And I said, it's fun. You know, I just do it. It's part of a hobby, you know. It's just that. That's all it is. I'm not trying to make any money off of this, although at the end of this, if you send me a personalized email to my email account and want to know how you can send me thousands of dollars, I'll be sure to give you my mailing address, no problem. We do accept checks and cash. We do not accept credit cards. Okay? E-transfer, we can do that. Yeah. You know I'm joking, right? Yeah, I'm sure you do. Okay. Nairi says not illegal, but morally, ethically, and nothing back. Yeah. No question he is a hard worker. I'm glad I met him. He's very, very smart, but he's getting paid well. No question about it. Yeah. Ilona says, I think your videos are very good. Thank you, Ilona. Would you say that with money? Nairi says, I love doing YouTube videos. I have 70 subscribers. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, you want to know something? If you like doing it, then you do it. That's it. I don't need, I mean, sure, more money is always nice, right? But I had a good career. I have a decent pension. I have money bags over here. You know, really, until I decide to kill them, then I'm really rich. But that's a discussion for another day. Yeah, we're comfortable. We don't owe anybody anything in terms of financial. We own our own house. We have money to do what we want to do within reason. We're not starving. We're clothed. Lucky for you. And yeah, and we can drink cheap champagne when it's on sale. Okay, we should bring this to a close.
Yeah.
Oh, Ilona says, sorry, can't hear you laugh. Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. And I read, makes me keep creating things. That's why I do it, and I'm using my supplies, and that's great. And Phyllis says, and no kids. Exactly, Phyllis. I knew Phyllis would get that. Okay, so people, thank you for joining us. Sorry about the little minor interruption. I don't know, it may happen again, because quite frankly, I haven't got a clue how to fix that, why it's doing it. Don't
Do
know.
some more research, see if I can find anything.
It may be a glitch in the way that the internet comes in, because look, we've
We
done this
changed
now,
our-
we're
we
fine.
changed our
But we
connection.
changed it over to, we have Bland 1, Bland 2. Okay, there are different ones. I don't know. Anyways, bye y'all. Have a good, oh my God, how I sound American. Bye y'all. And have a great week, and tune into my vlog when it comes up tomorrow, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Walter.
Bye, Walter.